Hi everyone, I'm Claire. I've always wanted to become a Christmas elf. I heard Mrs Claus at the National Space Centre. Hopefully she can grant my Christmas wish.
Oh, another pair of hands.
Actually, I'm just looking for Mrs Claus.
Oh, you're the one looking to become a Christmas elf.
How did you know that?
Christmas magic.
Christmas magic.
I tell you what, if you help me out, then I'll show you where Mrs Claus is.
Okay, deal.
Okay, Claire, so we're making reindeer headbands for people who want to be reindeer, but aren't reindeer. So first thing you're going to need is you're going to need some paper. Now I'm using coloured paper today to make it easier, but you could have used white and colour it in if you fancy doing that yourselves. Now first thing we're going to need is a band to stick it to our heads. Now I've made some strips by cutting these bits out of a sheet of paper. So finding something that's a couple of inches long and cutting out the straight nice strips. So I suggest you do that now. So once you've got your strips, then we can make our bands. Now I find, depending on the size of your head, 2 or 3 strips should be about enough. And all you want to do is you want to get them, sellotape them in a nice big long line, and then we can stick them around our heads. Now to help them stay in the right place, I like to cut a little notch in either of the tabs to create a bit that will slide together. Like so. And hopefully that should be the right size. Don't worry, if it's not the right size, Claire, all you need to do is cut some different notches.
Some different notches, fantastic. A bit snug.
Perfect.
It'll do.
Once we've got the band, then we need to make our antlers. And there's a really easy way to make these unique for every single person. And that is by using your hands. So simply get a piece of paper and a pen and then draw around your lovely hand. Like so. Now once you've done that, my top elf tip is rather than just cut out one piece of paper and have to do it all again, if you stick 2 bits of paper together, when you cut it out, you'll have 2 antlers. Perfect.
That is a great top tip. Okay, Josh, done those.
Excellent. Once you've got your handy antlers, it's then time to just stick those to the band that you made earlier. And remember, depending on where you stick them is where on your head they're going to be. Right. So you might want to get a grown-up or a friend to help just make sure they're in the right position. But once you're happy, simply sellotape them on and you'll be good to go. And once they're all stuck together, your reindeer headband is complete. And you too can be a reindeer, just like the ones that pull Santa's sleigh. Now remember, a good reindeer always recycles. So all that spare paper, pop it in the recycling.
Yes, definitely.
Well, thank you very much for your help, Claire. You wanted to see Mrs Claus, didn't you?
Yes,
well,
where's Mrs Claus?
Last time I saw her, she was practicing carols by the comets.
Carols by the comets. I think I know where she is. Thanks, Josh. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Have you seen Mrs Claus?
Oh, yes, yes, of course. Josh said you'd be here. I tell you what, I'll help you find Mrs Claus. Yeah? But first, you have to join me in a song.
A song?
Yes, a song.
Don't think you really want that.
Oh, don't be silly, of course I do. Everybody can sing, I'm sure you have a lovely voice. Now come here, come closer. You see, I'm just an elf. What I really want to be is an astronaut. And that's why I've created a brand new Christmas song all about my favourite thing. Rockets! And all of you can join in at home too. Oh, rocket ship, please can I fly you to space? Oh, rocket ship, please can I fly you to space? We'd go to space, fly around the moon, come back to Earth that afternoon. Oh, rocket ship, please can I fly you to space?
Sounds a bit high for me. Have you got anything a bit more in my range?
Well, I suppose there is one more song that I made. Another Christmas one about the rocket ship, and I'm sure you'll really enjoy it.
Okay.
Flying around the earth on a rocket I have made, looking out into space, laughing all the way. Ha ha ha! I see Santa Claus. Rudolph's nose is bright. I let them into my rocket. It's faster than tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, how fun it is to ride on a rocket I have made. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, how fun it is to ride on a rocket I have made.
Okay, I think I can do the chorus. Okay. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a rocket I have made. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on a rocket I have made. Rocket I have made. Yeah. That's good.
Wow, that's some real volume you've got there.
Thank you.
Anyway, Mrs Claus is at the top of the rocket tower.
Top of the rocket tower. Oh, thank you. Thanks so much. Are you sure you don't want me to do one more song?
No, please.
I think I've got into the spirit with that. Are you sure?
On your way, I'm sure she'll be waiting.
Okay. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Oh, excuse me. I just need to get to the lift.
Who are you?
I'm Claire.
Ugh, the one who wants to be a Christmas elf?
How did you know that?
Christmas magic.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, to get to the top of the tower, to get to Mrs Claus, you've got to answer 3 of my top Christmas cracker jokes. Like all good elves can.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I can do this.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Question 1.
Okay.
We'll start off easy. What do you call a naughty reindeer?
Rudolph.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, Rudolph.
Okay. And that is correct. Okay, Christmas cracker joke number 2. What do Santa's little helpers learn at school?
The alphabet.
Interesting. But you are unfortunately correct. Okay, the 3rd one. Final one. To get to the top of the rocket tower to see Mrs Claus, it's going to be a tricky one. Not going to make it easy. What is Santa's favourite singer?
Oh, everyone's favourite. Beyonce.
And you are correct!
Yes! Thank you, Beyonce.
You can make your way to the top of the rocket tower. But the lifts aren't working. The stairs are just there.
Thanks.
Anytime. Take care. All right.
it's Claire, isn't it? I've been expecting you.
How does everybody know everything?
Ah, Christmas magic.
Christmas magic. Can you please tell me where Mrs Claus is? I've been all around the centre.
Well, I can, but you need to help me with one more craft first.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll need a red crayon to colour in the hat, or whatever colour you like, but I think red's nice and festive.
Fantastic.
Lovely. Next thing you need is your scissors, and you'll need to cut out the Christmas hat around the big, thick black line, like this. And don't forget to cut out your pom-pom. Right, so now we need to make the hat, and to do that, you want to twist the cone around the dotted line, and then use some sellotape or glue to stick it together. And then the last thing you need to do is to stick on your little ball.
Is that all right, Charlie?
That looks fantastic.
Fantastic. Great.
Now we're ready to launch them. So, we need a milk bottle, like this. Put Santa's hat on top. So now we need a countdown. Are you ready? From
Okay.
5.
5,
4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off!
Whoa! It's just like a rocket.
It is. Santa's rocket hat.
Charlie, can you launch one?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off!
Oh, that's excellent. Thank you so much, Charlie. I've really enjoyed doing all these crafts and even running up the stairs and doing the sing-along. Can you please tell me where Mrs Claus is?
Well, I guess we have kept you waiting long enough, and you did do all of those crafts. I think the last time we saw Mrs Claus, she was over by the Christmas trees decorating them.
Christmas trees. Thanks, Charlie.
Oh, Claire, there you are! Do you think you could help me decorate the tree?
Yeah, but how do you know my name?
Oh, of course I know your name. You're top of the nice list.
Oh, Mrs Claus, I'm so glad I found you.
Well, you've been on quite a journey around the centre today, haven't you?
Yes, all I want to be a Christmas.
A Christmas elf, of course. I've heard all about this.
How did you know?
Well, Christmas magic, of course.
Christmas magic.
So, seeing as you've done so well at completing all of my elves' tasks, I think we should try and turn you into one.
Yes.
Now, let's see about turning you into a Christmas elf. Oh, no, that's definitely not right. We'll try that again, Claire. Ready? Oh, no, that's not right either. Let's try this one more time. Are we ready, Claire?
Oh, thank you, Mrs Claus. Finally, a Christmas elf.
Oh, well, Claire, you've certainly deserved it. Now, how about we all sit down for a Christmas story? One of my favourite Christmas stories is One Snowy Night by Nick Butterworth. Let's take a look. It's cold in the park in winter, but Percy the Park Keeper doesn't mind. He puts on his warm coat, his big scarf, and he wears 2 pairs of woolly socks inside his Wellington boots. Percy likes to be out in the fresh air. In the middle of the park, there is a little hut. This is where Percy lives. When it gets too cold to be outside, Percy goes into his hut where he's cosy and warm. The animals all know where the hut is. Every day, Percy shares his lunch with them. One winter's night, it was so cold that it began to snow. Great big snowflakes fell past the window of Percy's hut. "Brr," said Percy. "I think I'll need an extra blanket tonight." He made himself some hot cocoa and got ready for bed. Suddenly, Percy heard a tapping sound. There was somebody at the door. Now, who could that be at this time of night, thought Percy. He went to the door and looked outside. There, on the step, was a squirrel. It looked very cold and miserable. "I can't go to sleep, Percy," said the squirrel. "My bed is full of snow." "Oh dear," said Percy. "Never mind, I've got plenty of room for 2. The squirrel snuggled down next to Percy and soon began to feel warm. Knock, knock. It was the door again. Now, who can that be? Thought Percy. Standing outside were 2 shivering rabbits. It's freezing, said one rabbit. We're frozen, said the other. Oh, you poor things, said Percy. Come in and warm up. The rabbit squeezed into bed next to Percy and the squirrel. There wasn't much room. Could you face the other way? Percy asked the squirrel. Your tail is tickling my nose. Knock, knock. Oh dear, said Percy. Now there's someone else at the door. It was a fox. He looked very cold and hungry. Can I come in too? He asked. Percy scratched his head and thought for a moment. Well, if you promise to behave, he said. Oh, I promise, said the fox, and he squeezed into bed next to all the other animals. Bump! Oops! The squirrel fell out. Who did that? Asked the squirrel crossly. Knock, knock, knock. Good gracious, said Percy. It's the door again. This time, Percy had quite a surprise. There on the step was a badger, 2 ducks, a hedgehog, and a whole family of mice. They all wanted a bed for the night. Poor old Percy, and poor old Percy's bed. The animals pushed and shoved and rolled around the bed, but there just was not enough room for all of them. Soon, the bed covers ended up in a big knot. Then, bump! The covers rolled right off the bed and everybody fell on the floor. Oh dear, said Percy. This won't do at all. My bed is just too small. Suddenly, one of the mice pricked up his ears. What's that noise? He squeaked. Everybody listened hard. Now they could all hear it. There was a scratching and a scraping sound, and it seemed to be coming from underneath them. There's something moving under the floor, whispered Percy. The animals looked frightened, and the mice all started to squeak at once. Oh dear, what can it be? It might be a monster with fierce claws and sharp teeth. The noise grew louder and louder, and then one of the floorboards began to move. Look out! It's coming up through the floor. Suddenly, there was a large creak. Help! Cried the animals, and they all ran to hide. But Percy wasn't frightened. He started to chuckle. Then he laughed out loud. A small dark head was sticking up through the floorboards. This isn't a monster, said Percy. It's a mole. Oh, I'm sorry to burst in like this, said the mole. I knocked on the door, but nobody heard me. Percy helped the mole up through the hole in the floor, sat him on his hot water bottle to get him warm, and put the floorboard back. It's all right, everyone, he called. You can come out now. But nobody moved. Nobody stirred. Nobody wanted to come out. The squirrel was tucked away in the pocket of Percy's dressing gown. The hedgehog was in his coat. The fox, the rabbits, the badgers, the ducks, they were all safely hiding away. The mice had even squeezed themselves into Percy's slippers. Everybody had found a cosy bed. Well, I never, said Percy. Percy yawned and snuggled down into his own bed once again. Ah, that's better. Now I've got plenty of room, he said, and a little to spare for a mole. The end. Well, all of you at home are now Christmas elves. Well done. So thank you very much for joining me and all of my elves here today. We wish you all a very Merry Christmas.